Alright, so out of the 3 or 4 stores that had stuff, this is what I got. I actually went to about 12 stores. Let's see what I went to. Anthem, Pinnacle Peak, Happy Valley, Scottsdale, it's called Hayden and Raintree. Another Scottsdale one. Scottsdale by Guitar Center, that's 6. And then 2 other stores off of the 51. One of the stores in Fountain Hills. And one on 83rd in Peoria. That's 10 right there. I think there was a couple more. Anyway, I think I left at like 9:30 in the morning. Basically, the car says I was driving around for 7 hours. So, I was basically down there for over 10 hours. It really wasn't worth it, in reality. I put $30 gas. I think I put $30. I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, $20 or $30. And I still had gas when I got back home, so let's just say I spent $20 on gas. And what I came back with was a $59 tire. It's listed on Amazon. This is Finzi. I don't know why it says foldable, but anyway, it's very strange why it's called foldable. But anyway, it comes with a tire, and it looks like 2 tubes, or 1 tube, I don't know. Hard to tell. It looks like 2 for $9, and they're clearly listed on Amazon for $59. Not really sure why somebody would pay that much money for this particular tire. Because some of the other tires I've looked at, in my opinion, they look better. Like the Blackburn ones that are $26 at Walmart. So I got that. And I got that at the store that I found at Cannondale. At this other store, 83rd in Peoria or something. Let's see what's the date on this. The 8th. Well, it's been sitting out there for a couple of days. So probably somebody bought it and returned it. In fact, I think I was at that store the date that this would have been put out. Sunday or something. I don't know. Anyway, hard to say. Anyway, hopefully it works. We'll test it. It's just kind of cool. It kind of looks like a Galaxy radio, but it's the 50th anniversary. I guess it's for Bearcat or for Uniden. I'm not sure which. And it's basically a Cobra 29. But usually the Unidens are a little bit better than the Cobras, in my opinion. They just have like a little bit better noise reduction. And this one has high cut on or off. You have automatic noise limiter or noise blanker and noise limiter. Bright, dim, channel 9 on or off. These usually end up being extra switches on a sideband radio to use for different things. Like if this was the Uniden Grant, we would use these to program other channels. Because who the hell needs a channel 9 button? I mean, so this has the SWR meter, which, you know, most budget CB radios don't have. You've got volume, squelch, mic gain, RF gain, and SWR calibrator. And what I like about this one is there's no double knobs. They're all the same. Whereas on some of the other radios, it'd be, you know, double. Specifically like RF gain SWR. So I figured, well, this was the first thing I actually bought. So I bought this, and then I bought the tire, and then I went to one of the other Scottsdale locations, and I was absolutely dumbfounded when I saw this thing sitting on the shelf. And the only thing we're missing is the part that wraps around the top and latches on the radio. So, and then when I was coming back, I checked the Happy Valley store again, like probably fairly close to closing time, and they were junking tons of stuff. There was a telescope that they had there. He said he threw it out. Somebody had stolen the hand controller, and then he said somebody broke something else, and I think you just threw it out. You could have sold it. You could have re-tagged it for a discount. But down there, I think they do that on purpose, because they know somebody stole the parts for it, and they're probably waiting for it. In fact, because I mentioned something to him, he probably thinks it's me. But anyway, I'm not there often enough for it to matter. So this was on the floor, and let's make sure the date is today. Yeah, okay. I always try to pay attention to that, because sometimes what happens is somebody returns something, and it's broken, but they just put it right back out on the floor. So I did turn it up, and I heard some hiss, so I think it works. And it's kind of a cool. It's called a Behringer GM110 analog modeling amplifier. I think it's called a 110 because it probably has a 10-inch speaker in it, but it's cool looking, and it looks like a Fender, like Champ or something. And on the back we have, don't tell me this button's pushed in. It does look like it, doesn't it? And I think the ground lift switch might be broken. So it's a DI out. So you got a Jensen in here. I guess this is a 10. You have a large type of transformer, which I'm not sure if it's for the power supply part. Kind of hard to read this. It says a date code here was 06 of the second month, 2006. So this thing's 19 years old. And the thing is, you're not going to find stuff like this very much anymore. And Behringer and Behringer are the same company, and they made some really good stuff. I had a bunch of the Behringer V amps and a bunch of different stuff. They're not bad. So I prefer a closed back, though. I don't like open back, but whatever. So basically, let's see here, $23.59 with the discount. So not bad. We'll see if it works. It is cool. It has the DI out. Somebody scratched that, but overall it's in pretty good shape. A little dirty, just a little dirty. So other than that, I didn't get a chance to do any radio stuff. Let me open this up here. Pull the G90 out. So the problem with the G90, I've already got a base on it, but anyway, the problem with the G90 is this isn't for that one. So it fits on here fairly well. Alright, so apparently there must be some kind of type of reason they have that heatsink there. So this connector is what mine uses, but the new ones have an Anderson, and it's meant to just go right in here. So, and then with the newer one, you can either power it from this, or you can power it from that. And what I would probably do with this one to use it would I just power the radio directly, and I would power the fan off of something else. And it's got its own thermostat in it, so it'll vary its speed based on whatever. But it would be nice to just have one cord. So I'm using these connectors though. So if I can convert this to power pole, well, then we could just do that. And let's go ahead and undo this thing just really quick. And let's take a look here. I don't know what you would need to do to lock the Andersons in place. We'd have to cut the back of it probably, and they've got some kind of little device. So probably if you look online, you can find a conversion kit for this. You'll have to remove the back plate. It just doesn't seem worth it to me. I'd just get another one of these cords here and cut the end off of it and put a Anderson power pole on the end of it. In fact, all I have to do is just take this off of here and put an Anderson power pole on here. I even have an adapter that goes from that to Anderson, and I can just plug it in. We'll have all that extra wire, but the thing that if you skip all this, you're actually going to lose the fuse, and you don't really want the fuse in front of the fan. You want it in between the radio and there. So I basically just need another one of these cords. I'll have to look and see if there's a cheap one, or if I can just find one of these type of connectors, and I'll just convert it. I'll just put Andersons on some little piece, you know, just like this. You just have a little fuse right there. So, and other than that, like, I don't have a real need for it. I'm not going to talk on it at home, but if I did, this would be awesome. So, very, very cool to have. So anyway, that's it for me. This is something I 3D printed a long time ago. One of the first few things I 3D printed, which it was designed to hold I don't know what size fan, not one like that, but one a little bit bigger. Anyway, it's good enough for this video. So this is basically what we got today, and a whole lot of crap just to get it. So, but it's better than coming back with nothing. I'm just really exhausted from all the driving. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys.